Welcome to our last 30-minute lunchtime boost of the season. We hope these have been a bright spot in your day, coming to you every Wednesday and Friday with local experts. All 21 of those episodes are now on YouTube, so go check out the She's Local channel. And we are forging ahead with our planning of the MetroWest and South Shore virtual conferences this year. So we're taking a break from the boost, pivoting again, and we look forward to seeing you then. Thanks for being with us today, but also I recognize a lot of your faces, so thanks for being with us through this entire time. It's been an honor to be in your homes with you, and I'm going to try not to get emotional, but man, you lifted me, so thank you guys for the boost. I appreciate it. I'm your host, Jen Maceda, the CEO of She's Local, the organization that brings you accessible, relevant, and relatable local conferences, and now digital live engagement opportunities for local women to connect, inspire, and move along whatever path you choose. On today's boost, this is such a timely and so critical this information, Lisa. We have with us Lisa Dahl. Now, Lisa is a certified health and wellness coach. She wears a lot of hats, though, so we're going to get into that, Lisa. Lisa helps people make peace with their plates, discover how delicious real food can be, and build mindful and intuitive practices that support whole body wellness. She doesn't create diets, meal plans, or rules. Thank goodness, Lisa. Instead, she works to explore her clients' goals and lifestyle and incorporate habits that nourish their mind, body, and soul. Thank you for being with us, Lisa.
Thank you. I'm so excited to be here.
And we're going to start off with something that we haven't done before on a boost. So Lisa's going to do something special for us. Take it away, Lisa.
Awesome. So thank you and welcome. It's so nice to see everybody here. And I'm sure everybody is coming from a crazy, chaotic morning, whether it is kids or work, whatever it is. Thank you for being here. And we are just going to take a minute to breathe. And if you're willing, close your eyes. If you're uncomfortable, you can just shut your camera for a minute. You can either close your eyes or take a soft gaze. Soften your gaze, and what I'd like you to do is to put your hand on your belly and allow your abdomen to relax. Close your eyes, soften your focus, look at the floor or a few feet in front of you, and inhale through your nose and exhale through your mouth. You're going to breathe deeply into your abdomen and feel it expand. You're going to exhale slowly, allowing your body to relax and release the tension. Let your shoulders droop. As you breathe in through your nose, think soft. As you exhale through your mouth, think belly. Your thoughts are going to come and go. That's okay. We all have them. Brush them away when you can. Take another deep breath in, think soft, and exhale through your mouth and think belly. And brush those thoughts away, it's okay. You're going to take another deep breath in and exhale. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes and come back, and we can get started. And soft belly breathing is a great relaxation technique that you can use anywhere, anytime, and it really helps to relieve that stress tension in your body. So a quick practice.
That was beautiful. It's a good reminder. We're going to talk about family meals, and we're going to talk about snacking now that we're at home and surrounded by a refrigerator. I think it talks to me. I don't know about you guys, but tell us about family meals. So during the past few months, what's really been the impact in homes because of COVID-19?
Believe it or not, there have been pros with COVID, and I think one of them has been the family meal. in that everybody has been forced to slow down. Yes, it has created a little bit more stress in now feeding everybody 7 days a week, multiple times a day, and it has created a greater connection. I have one of my clients who has been keeping track of how many days they have had family meals since COVID started, because her husband works in Boston, she lives in the suburbs, commutes in, never a family meal. Kids were coming and going in the taxi. It didn't happen. And she said, everybody looks forward to the family meal. And I have to say, I have my own grown kids. I have a 28-year-old daughter and a 23-year-old son who now are living with me because of the pandemic. And I'm loving the family meal. Yes, I am tired of cooking. I am no different than anybody else. And I know that I've got a system down. It's still a lot. And the benefits are that we are connecting. Even though everybody's working on their own plan all day and we don't see each other, we come together for a family meal every night. And it has really created opportunities and conversations. And empowering our children to participate in the family meal. And it's not a chore, it's actually a life skill that we can give them to help in whatever capacity that they can.
So tell us about those strategies that are effective. We have limited exposure to grocery stores, or we are limiting our exposure to grocery stores. So what are some meal planning strategies that you have been implementing yourself and sharing with others?
The key word that you hit on is planning. And the more that you plan, the easier it is. I kind of look at it as an investment in time. It seems overwhelming and it can be a lot when you sit down and you think about, I need to plan for a week or 10 days. It will save you so much stress and time at 5 o'clock when everybody is hungry and you're trying to figure out what is it that I'm going to do. One of the best tools that I could recommend is an app called plantoeat.com. And it is, I think it's $35, $40 for the year. It is one of the most powerful tools that is out there, and I use it every day. What it allows you to do is you can cut and paste recipes easily into it. You can clip it into the app itself, so you can do it online or on your phone, and it will populate. It will have a calendar, so you can put in what day or which meal. From there, it will create a grocery store list. So you are no longer looking at each recipe and going in and figuring out, what do I need, making this comprehensive list. And on top of that, you can create something called a staples list, which is standard pantry or food items, anything from milk, juice to toilet paper and paper towels. Everything can go on that list so that it's easy to just click off and say, what do I need? And you get this list, and then I look at my phone and I go into my pantry, my refrigerator, I see what I already have, and then what's left is what I go to the store with. Because I don't want to bring my phone into the store, I have the ability to print out the list, and I can just check off what I need. I refer to meal planning with 4 different words: plan, prep, provision, and protect. Plan what you're going to eat, plan for when you're going to prep it, plan for when you're going to get the ingredients into your house, and most importantly is protect your time. And think about it as a meeting. It's going to come, whether you plan for it or not, whether you live alone, whether you live with a family. You're going to get hungry, somebody's going to get hungry, everybody needs to eat, and the best ammunition that you can prepare yourself is to plan and prepare. And think more than one meal at a time.
I think that we are all having too much time near our kitchen. Is that accurate? So tell us about that emotional eating, and how can we try to eat healthy, but also just give us something that's a treat and move us along, and although we shouldn't be eating emotionally. Tell us about that.
So should is one of those words that should go, because that is the only time that we should get rid of it. And the world is heavy. We can't deny that. And we have all, I don't know what everybody's food experience is, but our experiences just didn't happen today. We bring a lot of our food history into where we are, and a lot of our skills on how to deal with emotions and stress land in the refrigerator. Couple of quick tips that are helpful is to become aware and to learn how to respond versus react. An example is, I was talking with a client this morning, and she noticed that as soon as she starts to have to work on a research project that's out of her normal ability, all of a sudden that stress hits, and she gets up and she finds herself in the refrigerator. So the fact that she's even become aware of what those triggers are is a first step. Naming that trigger and what emotion you are feeling, and taking a mindful pause. Even practicing that soft belly breathing that we just did a few minutes ago allows your mind to shift from react to respond. It gives you some space. You can start with 15 seconds, 30 seconds. For me to say, oh, set your timer for 5 minutes. It's going to seem like an eternity. Start simple, start small. Think about just taking a few mindful pauses before you make that choice, and then make your choice. No guilt if that's what you're going to do, being more present. If you're going to snack, instead of standing at the refrigerator and picking at, or walking into the pantry and taking a few little chocolate chips and, some nuts and whatever it is, or chips or crackers, take the time and honor what you're going to eat. Doesn't matter how good, how junky, I don't care what it is. Sit down with it and pay attention to what you're eating. Get a plate, use a napkin, sit down at a table, be present. Take away that multitask, because most of us are sitting and eating while we are working, while we're on a Zoom call, while we are feeding our kids, we're snacking. There's so many ways. Being present and being grounded and connected to what you're eating will again start to make a difference. And we're not even talking about what those choices are. I don't care what they are. First step is trying to become present and mindful and grounded.
That's interesting. Completely different, different strategy. Instead of don't eat this and don't eat that, have it, but sit down and honor it. I love that, Lisa. If we were to try to incorporate some things that were more helpful in the snacking realm, what should we also include in our pantries and our refrigerators?
It goes back to the basics of proteins, healthy low processed carbohydrates, fruits, vegetables. Think about what you're nourishing your body with when you're eating meals, and perhaps making sure that those are complete. And if they're not, maybe you can add in some things that will make the day more complete. Perhaps you don't eat fruit for lunch, for breakfast. Maybe your mid-morning snack will be a piece of fruit. Trying to be more mindful of what the choices are. I'm not a big proponent of low fat, low calorie, 0 calorie. They're just chemical sets. Focusing on real whole foods that make you feel good. Maybe you need something crunchy, so maybe it's celery with peanut butter, because you are allowed to eat fat. We need fat to absorb vitamins. Trying to get out of the I can't and what I can, and focusing on how your body feels is really a bigger priority. Are you hungry? Are you noticing that you're full when you're eating? Are you connected? So there's no best foods. It's really discovering what fills your need at that time and what does your whole day look like, because there is no best at one time of day. If you like to have chicken for breakfast, eat chicken for breakfast. It's protein. Doesn't matter.
Yeah. I remember growing up, you mentioned the low fat, no fat, fat free, snack walls was, the big thing, and fat free butter, and it's craziness, right? I'm totally 100% with you. What should we be dieting right now? And is there a best diet to incorporate in our lifestyle?
So, two great questions. And I refer to myself as diet agnostic. There is no best diet. How I eat is best for me, and discovering how you eat is going to be best for you. What fills me and nourishes me, you may have an allergic reaction to. And one of the phrases that I really refer to a lot is, if you are on keto or Weight Watchers or whatever it is, using the phrase, I prefer to eat plant-based, or I prefer a keto-based diet, gets rid of that diet mentality. And if you choose something that is not on keto or not plant-based, you haven't broken any rules. It hasn't changed your preference. You're still preferring one over another. You just made a different choice. So in my house, I prefer a plant-based diet. My kids are home, they want meat, my partner wants pork. I got to give somewhere because I'm not cooking, 5 different meals every night. So it's a balance. My kids have learned to eat fish because that's part of what we have. And I'm saying, okay, I'm going to eat some chicken because I can't be creative 7 days a week. When they go, I'll go back to eating the way that I prefer to eat. Right now, I have to be cognizant that everybody is there and we're all trying to do the best we can.
And when you say prefer, it sort of takes away the guilt from, and then you don't just scrap the entire diet and say, oh, forget it. I made, one slip up. It's completely done. I love that.
And, and that goes back to the Monday morning mindset. There is no best time to start making choices. If you ate a bag of M&Ms for breakfast, your next choice is an individual choice. Decide what you want to do and how you want to show up for that next moment. There's no need that you have to go down that rabbit hole and continue that cycle. You can flip that mindset and change that shift any day of the week at any time of the day.
Anytime. That's brilliant. All right, Lisa, we are going to go to questions because I know that our audience probably has some great questions and want to share some ideas. So if you do have a question, feel free to give us a hands up, thumbs up, chat your question, and we'll come right to you. I see Nancy says, great ideas. Thank you. Thanks, Nancy. Catherine, the same. All right, awesome. Anybody? Oh, yes. Sybil, I'm coming to you. There you go.
Hello, can you hear me okay?
Yes.
So, Lisa, thank you for everything. I have sometimes a little challenge. I'm sort of following the keto plan because I feel healthy. I feel good on it. And I don't feel like I'm dieting, but I have different neighbors because I live in an apartment building, and they're often knocking at the door and wanting to share some homemade cake or something. And for a while, I would nicely take it in because you want to show appreciation. And then I would eat it. And then I would beat myself up about it. So now I'm trying to say, very nicely, oh, thank you. That looks so good. I guess I still don't have the words. I want to show gratitude because I don't want to be left out. But I want them to know that this food style is working for them. And they've said to me, gee, you look fitter. I mean, I just came from a power walk, so forgive my hair. So I don't know what you might suggest how I can kindly respond to that.
So food is a gift of love, and you want to respect that and honor that. And a phrase that I often use is, thank you for thinking of me. I am so grateful and appreciative. If it's okay to share as much as I love this, it doesn't make me feel good. It's taking a risk, and they're going to respect that because you're not saying you don't like it. You are honoring the fact that they are giving you a gift of love, that they are caring for you, and you're sharing that. And you're also being honest, saying that it doesn't make my body feel good. And we have to be comfortable or learn to be comfortable in practicing those words because you don't want to hurt their feelings.
Yeah.
And, there's one of two ways that I always look at food, and it ends up as waste no matter what. You either put it in the garbage or it goes through your body as waste. So there's a couple of choices there. And you can be honest and say, thank you, I truly appreciate it. I know that it is from the heart. I just want to share with you that it doesn't make me feel good and I don't want it to waste it. Or you choose to bring it into your home, toss it, or it goes through you and you feel crappy. And the fact that you notice that you don't feel good is such a win.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
That's great, Sybil. That's terrific.
It's a good question. It's a real question.
Yeah. Catherine, you have a question. Yes, I'm going to come to you. Ready?
Hi. Thank you so much for this. I'm loving something that's working for me is my Ninja blender right now. I was having trouble getting in all of the vegetables and fruit for the day. The smoothies are really working for me. Question is, do you happen to know of a brand that makes a good protein powder that doesn't taste chalky? Because you know, I've been using apples or like a piece of ginger to try to help, you know, I've been reading about it, just haven't found that right brand.
One that I use, are you using, there's no, again, there is no best brand, and it's really experimenting of what you like and don't like. And there is an article in examine.com on all the different protein powders. And something that you want to look for is the least amount of ingredients as possible. So one that I prefer is, I prefer pea protein. But I just read an article that it's high in metals. So now I'm on a search of finding a better pea protein. So and literally it came, you know, it's one of those things that become top of mind again in my search. And you know, and it's like anything, how much are you eating of it? It's, if anything is in moderation, it's going to be, you know, I'm no doctor, but it's okay unless you're eating it 3 meals a day. You know, I certainly don't want to be ingesting these metals, and I'm going to be looking for a better one. So in terms of best, it depends on what you're looking for, whether it's pea protein, whey protein, flavored, unflavored. There's so many different ways, and the best advice that I can give you is to taste and try. You can look at that article in examine.com. It's a great resource for scientific research. It's not just google.com. So I don't have a best.
No, thank you.
And put that in our She's Local Boost Facebook group too, Lisa. That would be great. Thanks, Catherine. That's a great question. So I'm curious your opinion about when to have protein powders or substitute shakes for vegetables. You know, is raw better? But then when is it appropriate to supplement?
And again, it goes back to my standard answer. There is no best. What is your full diet looking like? I'm a big believer of real whole foods. And if you have if mornings are crazy and it's the only way that you're going to get in a shake, turn that protein shake into a full meal, not just liquid water and protein powder. So you can create a full meal, and then it makes it great. If you add, like an example, my morning protein shake looks like protein, pea protein, unsweetened cocoa powder, almond milk, almonds, chia seeds, big handfuls of either spinach or kale, and a mix of frozen berries and bananas, whatever I happen to have in the house. And what's nice is that the dry ingredients I will put in little plastic containers, and I have 14 containers worth, so that in the morning all I have to do is dump one in, and everything else is pre-portioned. So I have taken the time to meal plan ahead of time, and breakfast now takes 5 minutes. And I'd rather be able to sit and take the time to enjoy it than spend 15 minutes taking every ingredient out every morning, because I just like anybody else, it got mundane, too time consuming, boring, whatever it is. So I always try to think on how to keep things organized and execute it quickly.
That's great. We're going to put your recipe in the Facebook group too.
And again, there's, you know, it's what liquid works for you. Is it almond milk? Is it milk? Is it, you know, non-dairy soy? It's understanding what's best for your body.
All right. Any other questions? I'm going to look at the chat real fast. Try liquid protein other than a powder. What is the difference between liquid and powder? Thank you, B.
I am, to be honest with you, it's not something that I'm familiar with, so I'm not sure on what the difference would be. It's not something I use.
She's going to bring us a sample. All right. So tell us about stress and what we can do to, it's not just about food, it's also about a healthy lifestyle. Tell us about the holistic approach.
So it is not about the food. It really is about understanding the ripple effect of self-care and full body health. How are you managing your stress? What does your sleep look like? How are you nourishing your body? What is your movement? How are you moving? It is not one single thing. And that being said, even though it's not one single thing, find the simplest action that you can take that will start to make a difference. And even going back to the soft belly breathing, is it just taking one deep breath so that you notice your stress and you're starting to practice or implement something that will reduce the stress? If it has to do with sleep and stress, create a journal in the middle of the night or before you go to bed. Put on a sleep meditation. Sleep and stress were things that are my struggles, and practicing meditation in the middle of the night has really made a major difference, where I am up now for maybe 4 or 5 minutes versus an hour and a half. And I used to fall asleep. I used to wake up, put my headset on, listen to a meditation. Now my phone stays downstairs, and I have learned that the practices and the techniques so that I can consciously make that choice to either go down the rabbit hole of stress or to go to practice my breath and disconnect and be more present in the moment versus worrying about 5 minutes ago or 10 minutes more.
So B, just to put in P8 hydrolyzed liquid protein, orange flavor, 18 grams per tablespoon of protein is tolerable.
Tolerable. So, you know, and that's best for you based on what your medical history is. I don't know that it would be best for everybody else because I don't know what the contents are. My biggest words of wisdom, I guess, are when you are choosing supplements or any type of food, is really looking at the ingredient list and trying to identify as many of those ingredients. Less is always more. And if you can't pronounce the word, chances are we don't really need it.
I love that. That's very true. Anyone else have a question? Yeah, Sybil. There you go.
Thank you. Any advice? I'm working on trying to lose pounds off of my waistline. And I'm walking maybe 2 to 5 miles a day, eating 1 to 2 meals a day, mostly vegetables, a little bit of protein, 5 to 6 glasses of water, no sugar, no carbs. And I'm just not losing this waistline. It's a killer. So I'm working on maybe doing more weights, but I just thought if you have an idea of how many calories or.
So I don't calorie count. And,
okay.
and what I'm hearing is that you're not eating a lot of food. And when you don't eat enough food, our bodies go into starvation. And they hold on to it. Like, our bodies don't want us to starve to death. And with, you know, without knowing your history and what that looks like, 1 to 2 meals a day, not a lot of protein, not a lot of carbohydrates. Carbohydrates give us energy. protein builds muscle. It's a full body approach. What is your stress level? What is your sleep looking like? There's unfortunately no quick fix other than experimentation, and we are the best way to figure out what's best is to experiment with your own body. So if what's working or what you're doing isn't working, it's being ready, willing, and able to try to explore and try something different and see how that works.
Thank you. Would you have any experience with fasting? Because I am doing some intermittent fasting and I feel good when I'm doing that.
And again, it's my question always is how sustainable is what you are getting those words mixed up, is what you're doing sustainable. And trying to get away from those quick fixes, because at some point, is that going to be working with what your day-to-day looks like, and what does the rebound look like? So when I work with my clients, we look at the bigger picture on what today, tomorrow, next week, next month, next year is going to look like, and try to create sustainable habits and patterns so that you get off of those peaks and valleys of that diet roller coaster of restriction and deprivation.
Yeah, that's a great question, Sybil. I feel like a lot of people are going through fasts and juicing and multiple options to kind of cleanse and reset.
And everyone has their own opinion. Our bodies are designed to get rid of waste and to cleanse. And the more real food, whole foods that you eat, the more that you move. There is no magic pill. There is no supplement. It's really about creating a lifestyle that makes you feel good and energized and is sustainable. That even when the world comes crashing down, you can go back to the basics and still manage through and get off of that roller coaster.
I love it. Thank you, Lisa. This has been an unbelievable boost. This really set the tone for ending on a high note. So thank you. Thank you for sharing all of your knowledge. Thanks everybody for being here. I can't believe this is the last one. It's been such a pleasure and an honor to be with you and to bring amazing experts like Lisa. It's really, really been an honor. I'm going to try not to cry. Lisa, thank you.
Thank you. It's just, I really appreciate your time and attention and amazing, great questions. And feel free to reach out if you have any additional questions. I'd be happy to make some time and space for you.
Awesome. Thanks, everybody. Thanks for joining us. And we'll see you at the conference. Bye.